Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this video where we're going to get a look at some screenshots, some images from FarmCon and from Farming Simulator 25, and some footage of an exclusive interview with senior level designer Florian Busse, where he's going to be talking a little bit on the clips I'm going to show you on the new farmers market and buildable farmhouses. Two things that I was quite interested in. The buildable farmhouses I wasn't expecting, and I'm very excited about. I know people are mad over ground defamation, that kind of thing, but that was one thing that really piqued my interest because of the immersion, the storytelling aspect of it, and that kind of thing I really quite liked. As far as FarmCon went, because all the presentations were in German at FarmCon, we did have a bit of, we had an interpreter for a little while. Kermit, the Giants community coordinator, helped out a little bit, but after each presentation we were joined by Stefan Geiger, who is the co-founder, co-creator of Giants and Farming Simulator, and CTO. Stefan Maurus, who is the lead integrator, and Florian Busse, who is the senior level designer. All three incredibly passionate about what they do, and we were lucky enough to ask them questions so we could get a better understanding of what we saw visually. So I'm going to impart some of that to you guys now. You get to have a look, which will be really cool. Florian Busse was an incredible man. I know a lot of people act and appear to, or think that, should I say, Giants are very dispassionate, very, you know, clinical, and they're a business, they're a company, and they're trying to make money. That's what companies do. But talking to individuals, the passion that came across in the project, Florian especially, and he's been working away on, well, all the maps, but was showing us on the most images we've seen so far, Riverbend Springs, the new American map. Now, a lot of people are angry about the fact we haven't seen the other two, you know, whether one of them is going to be one we've had before, it's going to be brought over. But the Asian map, and some questions we did ask, they wouldn't answer and couldn't answer due to their schedule for the release of information. So we did ask a load more questions than the couple of bits I'm going to show you on here. But it was... yeah, it was his passion, I think, that came across more than anything else about what they're trying to do for people, for the immersion and the enjoyment. So what I'm going to do is, well, we'll cut across to the interview, and then I'll talk about it at the end, a couple of bits about what he said, and enjoy.
So a couple of questions I've got. The farmers market, it says it's got interactive shelves. How do those work?
In a way, in a relative simple way. So first, in former versions we don't have a farmers market with interior. So you came to the farmers market and you have an unload element, and you drive with the trailer and it goes in, and you have a kind of number which goes high, and you see what is in the farmers, or what you receive as money in this case. So now it's a step in a way in between. It is empty in the beginning, and when you drive to that farmers market, or there are two possibilities. You have pallets with, for example, tomatoes out of your greenhouse. This is more smaller stuff in it's not like a trailer with whatever 100 liters or 1,000 liters of grain or whatever. And when you do that, then partially the baskets and pots are filling with this. You see a kind of fill plane, technically spoken, and we're working on that. That this looks nice. That is a little bit difficult, because when you only rise textured plane, it is maybe not the feeling which we really try to feed in. But it is also difficult to place one tomato, two tomatoes. It's also, and you cannot have 40,000 tomatoes placing in all over the place. That makes also no sense. So we must figure that out, how we want to realize that. But to have this kind of impression, now I have to feed 2 pallets of tomatoes, for example, and something is changing. The environment is reacting on you. That is this kind of feeling which we want to produce on that. That you have this kind. You don't need to have a number in a way. Of course, when you want to know it precisely, you get also a number. But you want there's more an intuition which we want to settle down in that thought. That, okay, I bring things in this thing in a way grows. Mhm.
So as you can see, a very passionate man. What I'm liking is the fact that Giants seem to be delving a lot deeper into the immersion of things and people getting a reaction from it. I think everything combined will add to that immersion. Yes, they're all, say, small things. They're not small things. They're all big things. You know, the fog we're going to be getting, the God rays, all the new images are showing us great levels of detail. From what I read, and I've been trying to find where I read it, the way they're doing all their processing now, it halves the slot count. So the amount of detail can be higher without impacting on gameplay. For console gamers, that's massive. That's a huge thing to have the slot count halved. Will we still have the same slot count available? Potentially. They haven't said that yet, but that's incredible. I like it. I think we're going to be seeing more interiors of buildings, more detail within buildings, from some of the screenshots and things we've seen, and it absolutely looks fantastic. And I love the way they're tackling that. The next thing we're going to be looking at then is a question. Well, it's something that myself, or should I say, Virtual Farmer and myself, we were discussing this at FarmCon last year about buildable buildings, talking about what happens in the winter months. You know, most people know that farmers in the winter months, they'll do logging, they'll do maintenance on vehicles, inside stuff, they might do fence repair, whatever they can do, because they can't do their usual farming. And we said, would it be cool if you could buy barns, if you could buy buildings, if you could buy things that you gradually build over time, or you see gradually being built over time, and then we get the, you know, I can't remember where the information was, but anyway, we were given some information. Buildable farmhouses, and myself and Virtual Farmer jumped on this because it's something we're really interested in. So I'll cut to the clip now. Again, Florian explained a little bit about it, and the extension on from that, I think, is very promising for what we might see moving forward.
So the other thing is buildable farmhouses.
Yeah.
Are those farmhouses that the player can that has a sleep trigger, or is it just a building that is sitting on the map that you can go and deliver stuff to? I mean, are they? So my question really is: do we have placeable, buildable buildings, or are they built into the map?
No, you have placeable, buildable buildings, as you said it.
So is it like the roller coaster where you bring stuff to it?
Yeah, we can compare this, in a way, but it's not, of course, not such a huge amount. It's a normal construction work site.
So a gradual build.
Yeah, and you have a certain number of whatever wood or other materials which you need to bring into that, and then you, instead of buying a completely farmhouse for one big price, you have a kind of fragmented price system which depends on what is necessary to deliver, how many does that cost for you, and there's a kind of base price for that. So you have this kind of combination, and then you build your own farmhouse, and then this has a sleeping.
Is that something that you would develop more into barns and buildings, not just farmhouses?
That would be a marvelous idea. When we don't go that step.
No, I was going to say, but
is that something that modders will be able to?
I cannot say that from a technical view. I don't know exactly what is really possible, but theoretically, yes, definitely. It's only, in a way, you can pick this kind of feature of the farmhouse, and then simply rename that thing, in a way, and then when you want to change the graphics, I think that is in that when you have this competence and the possibilities to do that and working in 3D modeling, then you can really adjust that. That is my thought about it. I don't know if this is really supported, that modders should expand this feature. It's more, we have that for the players, and other questions will answered by the future.
Thank you.
All right.
So as I might have already said, I am buzzing for this. I like my storylines, I like that immersion. I like Alien Jim did it a while ago, and had a building that when you clicked on the icon you hear the building sounds and it would build behind you or in front of you, depending on which way you're facing. But I like that gradual build thing. The roller coaster on Silver Run was brilliant. The boat building, the piano building, those things. So this is a step on from that. I don't know what resources we're going to need, and from what he was saying, I get the impression there are going to be different size houses. It's almost like you're buying the foundation. You buy the foundation of the building, and then there are requirements depending on what style of house you've chosen. It sounds fascinating. The question then following on about barns and other buildings and stuff like that, I think Florian said straight away, yes, of course it's possible, absolutely. He did at the very end say, obviously, it depends how much Giants are prepared to relinquish on that, but the fact that it is possible, and if they are going to relinquish or release the information on how to do it, because I know some of the stuff from Silver Run was proprietary coding, and a lot of modders and map makers haven't been able to get hold of the ability to do certain things they do on maps. But that potentially moving forward is huge. So when you've got those down months and you want to do farming related jobs, but you can't farm because the weather's not permitting you to, or it's the time of year, whatever it might be, to be able to build a barn, maybe do fencing, building houses, farmhouses, whatever it might be. Imagine being able to build your own cow shed, and you've got a few to choose from. I just think it's a brilliant idea moving forward, and it's another big step. I know it's not for everybody, and it'd be like everything else. I think one of the questions that I think happened a little bit later, because like I said, there were it was a long interview, and there were a whole load of things that were asked that they wouldn't answer and couldn't answer, was about, will there still be placeables? And I think that is the option. You can just buy a farmhouse, bang, place it. You don't have to go through the process of building your own if you don't want to, was what we kind of gleaned from that. Exciting stuff. I'm hoping people, as we're releasing information, people are sort of getting a bit more kind of hyped about it. There's a lot to this. There's a lot more facets to it than I think we first realised on the first cinematic trailer, and then they did the pre-stream stuff, and a lot of people said, oh, this is ridiculous, we waited 3 years, and all we're going to get is a bit of fog and some god rays. There's more to it than that. And obviously they're going to be releasing far more information moving forward over the next 3 months towards the release date on November the 12th. So there's going to be so much more to find out. There's a couple of whispers about a couple of things that haven't been confirmed yet. A few people have talked about and mentioned certain things, but again, we've had no confirmation. So it's a dangerous game to play with the kind of I think or we might be. I don't want to get people's hopes up and things like that. So it's, as stuff gets released, we'll be disseminating the information. Don't you worry about it. So that leads me on to the YouTubery bits of the video, which is what we normally do. If you do want to pre-order the game, it is available to pre-order. There are pre-order bonuses, the MacDon pack for pre-order, the collector's edition. There are still some, controversy is the wrong word. As far as I understood it, you got the gold edition for pre-order, but a lot of people are saying you only get the gold edition if you get the collector's edition, which I find unusual because there's no console collector's edition. So what they're basically saying is unless you buy the PC edition, you don't get the gold. That doesn't make sense to me. I thought it was pre-order. But anyway, you will get the MacDon pack, collector's edition, potentially the gold edition New Holland Harvester. There's also the Year 1 bundles. If you want to pick up your season pass now, you can get your year 1 season pass with the 3 DLCs, and then the 4th being the large upgrade. That's over a year away now, I know, and that will be a UK based map. We know that already. We have been told it's going to be UK based. We're not sure where in the UK, but it's going to be UK based. And at least one of those DLCs, again, there's some whispers about what it might be. Again, I'm not going to say anything because it's not 100% confirmed, and I don't want to get people going away saying, MrSealyp said, I've got to be careful. But anyway, all of that being said, if you are going to download, there's a couple of links in the description. One for PC download. If you use the partner code, MrSealyp, all capital letters, that helps out the channel, helps out the partner program. For me personally, that'd be absolutely fantastic. There's also a link there to retail forwarding, so if you want to pick up your console copy, it's just an easier route through to find what you want, whether it be digital or hard copy. Unfortunately, the partner code doesn't work on console, but there is a link there if it helps you locate what it is you're looking for. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.